Hey, Heath.
Hi, Brendan. Nice to meet you.
Likewise, come on in.
So what are we looking at today?
So the light that I emailed you about is actually right here.
Okay.
So we've been in this house for about 3 years. I'm pretty handy, so I thought I'd replace this light fixture. We bought a light to replace it, and there's a warning label that I really wanted to have someone look at before we put it in.
Sure. Let's take a look at the fixture.
So this is the fixture that we bought right here.
All right. Oil red bronze finish, the clear glass, the Edison style LED lamps. Nice looking fixture.
Thank you. We love it. But the warning label here said that for houses built before 1985 that there's a risk of fire. This house was built in 1960.
Ah, got it. So what we'll do is we'll start by taking the existing fixture down. We'll take a look and see what you have for wiring up there. But first, we'll go downstairs and you can show me where the panel is so we can turn the power off.
Great. Follow me.
All right, so we've taken the light fixture down.
Okay.
And what we found in the junction box was pretty much what we expect to find in a house of this age. It has this kind of cloth-covered NM cable, and the conductors inside are rated 60 degrees Celsius, or about 140 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
The drawback to this is, when you'd have a fixture that would take an incandescent bulb, people would often put a lamp in that the fixture wasn't rated for, something much higher that could generate a lot more heat. What would happen is, because this only had a lower temperature rating, it would actually heat up over time. It could get brittle, it could crack, it could separate and fall off. Worst case scenario though, it could actually arc and cause a fire. And that's the last thing we want to have happen.
Right.
So in the early 80s, they actually changed the code to make the temperature rating of these wires higher.
Okay.
And what they've done is they've required the insulation on this jacket to be rated 90 degrees C, or almost 200 degrees Fahrenheit, 194 degrees. Takes a lot more temperature and gives you a lot more selection as far as putting up fixtures and installing different types of lamps.
So does it matter that these are LED bulbs? They're not going to get that hot, right?
No, the bonus is those really won't generate any kind of heat, but the only drawback is because of the type of socket it is, it still takes a standard bulb that you normally get anywhere, and there's still the potential for someone to put in something they shouldn't, something that's way too strong, that still could overheat. So what we can do to solve this issue is we can splice a piece of wire, pull the existing wiring back, add a new piece of the newer wire, about 18 to 24 inches long, put that in the junction box, and that'll let us install the new light fixture you picked out.
Awesome.
All right, we're gonna start by getting these old wires out of the way. And we have a little crawl space above us, and we're just gonna push these up into that crawl space. All right, so what we have here, Brendan, is we have the wires that we pushed up from the light fixture downstairs.
Yep.
The problem we run into is they go in different directions, so they don't quite reach one junction box like we hoped they would.
Okay.
It's okay, we can fix that. What we're gonna do is put one wire into this first box, bring these two wires into the second box, put a jumper between, and then we'll run the new wire down to the fixture where it was before.
Sounds good.
All right, so here's the wire we pushed down from the attic.
Okay.
This is our new one, and now we're gonna install the new box. So next we're going to strip the jacket. All right. And now we'll slide the wire through the cable connector.
Okay.
And then we'll slide the box up. And now we'll put the ground screw in. Now we're going to go around that ground screw on the fixture bar as well.
Is there a reason why you're putting in a second ground screw?
In this case, where the box is metal and the box is already bonded, the fixture bar is attached with metal screws. That's usually sufficient. But in case the box was plastic, you definitely want to attach to this. And it's just a habit we've always had and a good little extra practice to do. We're ready for the fixture.
All right, here you go.
And let's install the light bulbs.
All right.
And now the glass. It'll sit like so, and then we'll take the ring. And with the nuts, great. All right, the power's back on. Let's give it a try.
Looks great.
It's a great looking fixture.
And I feel really good knowing that it's safe.
Glad we could help.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Heath. Really appreciate it.
Nice job, Heath. Although, I've got a question for you. What does the 18 inches buy you? I mean, if you're still pulling too much power, what do you guys call it?
Amperage.
If you're still
Yeah.
pulling too much amperage over a wire, couldn't it heat up anywhere along that run?
It could, but the amperage actually isn't our concern and what we're trying to solve here. The issue with this is lamp issue and heat from the lamps and potential of overlamping. That's where we get the heat problem.
Wait, so it's because the bulbs are close to that junction box? That's what's causing it?
Exactly, because this is sitting right on the junction box and you have the heat source directly against it. It can actually heat up inside that junction box, make the insulation on the conductors brittle, and has a breakdown.
Gotcha. So if the bulbs were farther away, we wouldn't necessarily have the problem.
Like a chandelier. If we had a chandelier where the bulb source, or the bulb was actually lower, heat source is away from the canopy, not as much of an issue.
And you might not see the label at all.
And they may not have a tag on it.
All right, so when you open up that box and you see the wire, you know what's right and wrong.
Right.
How do I tell whether it's the right wire or not?
So the first thing to take a look at is this one is obviously old. So we know right away there's no chance of that being rated for today's fixtures.
And that's because of this sheathing
Because of the
here
jacket and the way it's wrapped, yeah, you can tell right off the bat.
So this one is never good in this situation?
Not for this application.
Okay.
Yeah. Then they changed to this. Sometime in the 70s, we'll see something like this. Non-metallic sheath cable, type NM.
Right, and it says that?
It does say that right on it, type NM,
Right.
but it's still only rated 60 degrees Celsius, same as the other
Right.
one. But in 1984, we went to this one.
Well, how do you tell the difference between these two? Because they look a lot alike.
And the difference between these two is the NM versus the NMB. NMB, 90 degrees Celsius.
And the B is just like
Second generation, essentially.
second generation, okay. So if you pull it out and you don't see NMB,
You know that it's not good for this application, that it's 60 degrees C conductors inside there.
and then any wires we buy today are going to be rated for the
We'll have that be on there and it shouldn't be an issue.
Cool, great information, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button. Make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.